What is up, Carol here with Themeisle. What I want to show you today is how to create a great looking and functional contact page in WordPress using Claude. It's gonna be a valid page built in the block editor and you're gonna be able to customize it however you want. And the best part is that we are basically one prompt away from getting it. So yeah, let's check it out. Okay, so this is Claude, and you know what? Let's just get started. I'm just gonna submit my prompt. We're gonna wait a couple of minutes and then just check out the result. And then after that, I'm gonna show you how it all works under the hood. So yeah, that is Claude. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna send a very simple prompt, actually quite quick. So what it says is that I'm building a website for a local cafe. The vibe of the cafe is specialty coffee in a minimal yet cozy environment. It is a WordPress site and I already have a basic setup ready to work on. Then I say what the task is, and it is to build an incredible contact page for this website. Then the crucial line, I instruct Claude to use the skills available to you to connect with the site through BlocksForge, and what that is I'm gonna tell you in just a second, and then use your front-end design skill to make this design exceptional. If you need images, fetch through Unsplash. I also have a skill for Unsplash installed so that it gives us some additional graphics. If I had some actual graphics of my own, I would have just attached those to the prompt, which is totally doable, but I don't, so I use Unsplash. Then make sure the design of the new page matches the design of the home page. So this is important because I don't want Claude to just create something out of the blue that maybe looks nice but doesn't match what else is there on my site. So I do have a home page. This is the home page, quite nice, simple yet elegant, I think. So it has some details in here, it has the menu and so on. So I want Claude to emulate this when creating the contact page. And then, interesting part, I tell Claude to create a contact form. So the form should be made with the OtterBlocks plugin and the form block that's available in the plugin. So OtterBlocks is already installed on the site, so we're gonna see if Claude can interact with it correctly. Yes, so that is basically that. Let me just grab the prompt. Let's go back to Claude. Let's paste it in. Let's click go and let's see how it all goes.
A few moments later.
Okay, and I am back. So it took a couple of minutes, I think 8 minutes or so. It, as always, gives me some summary of what's going on and so on. And at the end of it, I do get a new contact page. So let's see it. And yeah, that is the page. So it has some headline, very minimal design, but what's important, it does match the aesthetic of what's already on my site. So that's that. This is the contact page, and the interesting element in here, we have the form, and the form allows me to communicate with the admin of the site, being myself. So that is that. Then we have some more sections about the cafe. Yeah, quite nice. And even accordion section, which is also very good looking. So we have the page, it's quite nice, but what's the real interesting part is under the hood. So if I click on edit, I'm gonna find out that this is actually a normal block editor page. And you know what? I don't like this headline really, so I'm just gonna remove the second line. I think it's better that way. And quite similarly, I don't think I like this entire line, so let's just remove it. Yeah, much better. Next, we have the form. So if I click on it, I'm gonna realize that this is indeed a normal form. It's been created using OtterBlocks. You know, it has all the fields in here. The email is gonna be sent by default to the site admin, which is exactly what I wanted. And it's just functional. It shows me the messages, right, that are gonna appear based on the success or failure of sending the message for the user. Other than that, it's a standard form really. So that is what's really impressive in here, in my opinion. So you can create a totally correct, totally valid block editor page. You can even tell Claude to use other things that you have installed on your WordPress site. Like, for example, I have OtterBlocks, so I want the form to be created with OtterBlocks, but I might as well just tell it to use contact form 7. It's also gonna work, no problem. Okay, so we have the contact page, but how does it actually work? So there are a couple of elements here, and this whole solution is something that we've been experimenting with for the last couple of weeks. So we call it BlocksForge, and we make it available to all Themeisle Themeisle users for free. So basically, if you want to give it a try, do let us know, comment or send us a support ticket and we're gonna give you access. So once you do have that, you can go to your Themeisle account and in there you're gonna find a section called Blocks Forge. All you basically need is just this MCP address. You can come back to Claude and then either in Cowork or Code, you can go into Customize, you can go into Connectors, and this is where you add the connector. Let me disconnect so I just show you how to add it. So basically just click on plus, add custom connector, just provide the address in here, call it something, Blocks Forge, and then you can just add it. Once you do, you're gonna see it in here on the list, so just click on connect. It's gonna take you to Claude.ai, and behind the curtains, Claude is basically communicating with your Themeisle account, and after a couple of seconds, everything is gonna be integrated, and you're gonna see it in here in the Claude panel. Okay, so that's the Claude part of the integration, and what we need to do now is prepare our site itself. So for that, we only need a couple of things. So if I go into plugins, all I need is the MCP adapter plugin. This is the main plugin used to make it possible for tools like Claude to communicate with your site. And then we have our own WP BlockForge ability, which is how we handle that communication in a way so that Claude can create correct working blocks in the block editor and basically put those designs together. Then we also have the author blocks installed in here, and this is kind of a secret weapon of this integration, because if I go into the author blocks settings, there is something called Atomic Wind block in here, and this is basically Author providing us with very basic blocks added to the block editor. It's basically just a box, text, link, image, and icon. And Claude is going to use those very basic blocks to construct the layout, the design. It is all native, so you can basically edit this page freely as I did a couple of minutes ago, and at the same time Claude can understand it perfectly. So yeah, with those elements here ready, you can basically go to Claude, you can use either Cowork or Code, and you can start sending prompts like mine in here. So yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know if you want to give it a try. Just add a comment or send us a support ticket and we're gonna give you access to Blocks Forge. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, there's a lot more content coming up, and see you next time.